Welcome back, guys. My name is Felicia, and we're gonna do a very relaxing restorative / yin practice today. So if you have bolsters at home or any kind of pillow or maybe a blanket for your mat or later on to cover yourself to keep warm, that's a good idea. Maybe you want to wear something nice and warm and cozy. And for now, find a comfortable seat. Find a really tall spine and rest your hands on your lap, on your thighs, wherever they feel good and comfortable. Allowing yourself a moment of arrival. Feeling your hips, your seat on the ground. The connection to the earth through your seat. And a really tall spine through the crown of the head. Bring your hands together in front of your heart and stay here for a moment just for yourself to set an intention for your practice. To find a place, a thought, a feeling, a person to dedicate your practice towards. And an intention can be like an inward direction. So giving yourself an inwardly direction. And take a breath in. Chanting, 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 Hare. If your hands are still at your heart, release them down to your legs for a moment, staying in the stillness and in the echo of your own voice, of the sound. Becoming aware of your breath, just very natural breathing and just seeing it, watching it, knowing that it's there. Supporting you, carrying you through life and through your practice. And take a deep breath in and gently open the mouth, exhale. If your eyes were closed, open them. And come to lay on your back. If you have a bolster or a pillow, take it to your side. We're going to use it. So lay down onto your back and bring your feet close to your hips. Press the feet down, lift your hips and bring the bolster, the pillow, or blanket or block underneath your hips, and then we're just releasing the hips onto it. Make sure that it's really comfortable. You can make it as high or as low as you like, as it feels good. And then resting your hips on that podest. And just feet down. You can have your hands by your side. You can keep the arms shoulder height or maybe even over your head if that feels nice for your shoulders. And we're going to stay here for about 3 minutes. So make sure it's comfortable. Make sure you don't need to change a lot in these 3 minutes. In the restorative practice, we always really want to take our time to make sure everything is just right, so that later on we don't have to change that much. And once you know that you're in the right spot, your hips feel comfortable and supported, you can bring your awareness back to that very gentle breath of yours that is flowing without effort, without changing it. And just becoming aware that it's there, that it's flowing, that it's supporting you. And I'm going to create a lot of space for you in this practice, so I'm going to stop talking in a moment. And just know that you can always keep your awareness on your breath, especially if you have any discomfort, not any physical discomfort. If you have physical discomfort, you step back a little bit. But if you feel that you're getting kind of nervous and ready to move on, you bring your awareness to your breath. From here, you can slowly begin to extend your right leg on the floor, on the mat, and allowing the leg to completely relax. The foot can fall out to the side. If there's any discomfort in your lower back, you take the bolster a little bit lower. Maybe you have the block underneath your hips, you take it to the lower level. Just making sure that you can stay here again. And we're going to stay for a little bit, giving yourself the space to breathe into it, into your hips, into your body, remembering your intention. And bending the right knee again, placing the right foot down, just changing sides. Left leg extends. Let the foot fall out to the side, the hip crease lengthening, relaxing. And breathing into that space. Finding stillness. And slowly you can decide if that's enough for you. You can bend both knees again, or you can extend both legs on the ground. I'm going to stay for one more minute, lengthening both sides at the same time. If half wheel supported with knees bent is good for you, you come back here. Slowly, if your legs are extended, you can bend them again. Place them back down. Then make sure maybe you need to adjust your bolster underneath your hips a little bit. Make sure it's comfortable and extend one leg after the other up into a Viparita Karani position. Maybe you want to bring it a little bit lower if you had it very high. And then whenever you're there, you can micro bend, just a little bit bending the knees so your belly is super relaxed and you can relax that space of your body without holding your legs very intensely, just extending them up. Maybe you want to rest your hands on your belly or you keep them by your side. Coming back to your breathing. If you have your hands on your belly, you can really feel the belly expand with every inhale and relax with every exhale. Maybe you can watch how not only the breath is slowing down, but also your whole nervous system. Everything is becoming a little bit slower and relaxed. One knee after the other, bend the knees. Gently place the feet down to the ground. Take everything away from underneath your hips and lay it down on your back. You can extend your legs, you can extend your arms. Giving yourself some space to really just enjoy the effect of these asanas, of these practices, of concentration on the breath. Feeling the ground underneath you, supported by the earth. Allow a little bit more weight to sink into the earth. And begin to move your fingers, your toes, your hands, and your feet. Coming back again and find your way. Take your time, find your way over one side into a seated position. Take all the time you need, rolling over one side and then coming up. Now if you have a bolster, you can extend your legs, and if you have a bolster, maybe it feels good to bring the bolster on your legs. We're going to go into a supported Pascimottanasana. Maybe you have two or a bigger bolster than I have, and that's good. Maybe you want to also roll a blanket and bring it underneath your knees if your legs are a little bit tight at the back. Lena is going to demonstrate everything for us. That's going to feel very nice for the back of your legs. And your feet can completely relax. So you're really not holding any tension in your toes. So once you're ready, you can begin to fold forward. Maybe you don't have any props and you can just rest your hands in front of you and lean onto your hands. If you have props, or you can lean on your elbows or onto your legs, you do that. And then let the head hang down. Maybe resting on something, if there's a bolster on your legs. And again, making sure you have everything you need. Your seat is very comfortable, and you have some space to sink into, but you're not too deep. We need a little bit of space for time, for the time that we're in here to sink into. And once your position is found and you're good and comfortable and you can stay, become still. Relax the forehead. Relax the thoughts behind the forehead. And slowly lifting out and up. Take your time. Use your hands on the floor to lift back up. We're going to keep our left leg extended. You can bend your knee, the right knee, and open the right knee to the side. Now maybe you want to bolster your knee if you have another bolster. And also another good thing is just putting your bolster over your left leg. And begin to fold forward over your left leg into a Janushirshasana position. Making sure you're comfortable. You can stay and you can become still. And then becoming still. Just watching your breath flow in and out without effort. Very soft. Completely relaxed. Relax your jaw. Relax your tongue from the roof of the mouth. The eyes are relaxed. lifting back up. And changing sides. Maybe you want to bolster your knee again. Take everything you need over the right leg. And begin to fold forward. Maybe you're resting all the way down. Maybe you're seated or halfway seated. If it's possible, it's really nice to rest your head either in your hands or on your pillow, or just relaxing the neck completely so your head is sinking forward. And giving yourself the allowance to become still, to rest. Begin to lift back up slowly. And close the legs, extend the legs. And then take everything to the side and lay down onto your back for a moment. Bring your hands to your belly and gently breathe into your hands. Take a deep breath into your hands, into your belly. Inhale. Open the mouth and exhale. Again, deep breath into your hands, into your belly area. Open the mouth, exhale all the air out. One more time, deep breath in, expanding. Exhale. Well, from here, we're going to come into a Supta Badhakonasana. Option number 1 is you just stay as you are and bend your knees. Open your knees to the side. Option number 2, you have a bolster or something, some kind of cushion that you can roll up, or a blanket that you can bring behind you. Lena's going to demonstrate it for us. If you have small pillows like we have, maybe you want to take 2 behind so you have the whole torso and the head on it. And you can even make it so it has a slant upward, so your head is a little higher than your heart. If you have the big pillows, the big yoga pillows that we normally use, you can take something underneath the top part of it, a block or another blanket. If you don't have any of these props, you just stay laying down, open the knees to the side without it, and you can support your knees if you want to, bring something underneath your knees, a block or a cushion. And then once you've found your space, again, making sure it's super comfortable, it's where you want and can stay, you become still. You let your body rest into that space, sink into it. Your arms by your side or maybe on your hips, on your hip bones. Coming back to your breath and watching the breath just like you're watching clouds on a blue sky. Just the steady coming and going without changing the breath. We're going to stay about 3 more minutes. If you need to change anything, adjust anything, maybe want to deepen or actually support your legs now. If you haven't before, you can do that. Adjust that. And then finding back to your stillness. Finding back to your breath. And finding back to your intention from the beginning of class. Whatever it was, just bring it back to your heart, to your mind. Allow it to really become part of this practice, of your experience. And then gently, maybe you want to help with your hands from the outside, closing your legs again. Let the knees fall together for a moment, walk your feet apart, relaxing the hips. If you're on a little podest, slowly and gently roll onto one side, roll off the podest. You can take everything to the side that you don't need anymore. And then laying back onto your back, extending the legs. Just for a moment, giving your hips some relaxation time. And from here, we're gonna come up to Child's Pose. You can just roll over one side, come into Child's Pose, or come up to sit and come to Child's Pose. And in Child's Pose, maybe it feels good also to have a little one of your podests or pillows in front of you to lay your chest upon or your head upon. Your arms can extend forward. Good. And we're going to go into a side bend, so keeping the hips as they are, we're going to walk our torso and arms and chest and head to the right side. And stretch the left side of the body. If your head is not comfortable, take something underneath so you can rest it and relax it. You're going to stay in each side about 2 minutes. So making sure you're comfortable is key. And then allowing yourself to rest. The neck relaxed. Maybe it feels good to take a few deeper breaths into the side body, expanding the left side a little more with a deeper inhalation and relaxing the side body with an exhalation. Slowly walking your hands back to center and over to the other side. If you need to adjust your pillow, you can do that here. Make sure your head is supported, your arms are relaxed, neck is relaxed. And if you did so and it felt good, to breathe into the side body, this time the right. Do it here as well, expanding the rib cage. Just a few breaths to feel the side, to expand it and release it with the exhalation. And slowly come back to center and stay in the center. Relax your neck, your head down. arms relaxed. Vertebra by vertebra, rolling back up to sit. Head comes last. And we're going to stay seated for a little bit. If you want to take your pillow and bring it underneath your hips or in between your feet for a virasana seat. Maybe you want to cross your ankles, your shin bones. Stay for a short meditation practice. Rest your hands on your lap or on your thighs. And relax your eyes, relax your gaze. Relax the space behind your eyes, behind your forehead, in between your eyebrows. And just like we were watching our breath, the coming and the going, bring your awareness a little bit closer inward to your thoughts, to your mind, wandering around, and begin to watch these thoughts, watching them come and watching them go. Just like these clouds on the blue sky, just like the breath, steady coming and going without attaching to them, judging them, or changing them in any way. Just watching. Whenever you find yourself wandering off, following the thoughts, come back to watching, come back to seeing the thoughts come and go. Just watching. And slowly taking your time, we're going to come to lay down onto your backs into Shavasana. Laying down onto your back. Maybe you want to cover yourself with a blanket, or you take the bolster underneath your knees. And laying down, arms by your side, palms facing up, feet relaxed, toes falling apart. If you have a pillow for your eyes, maybe you want to cover your eyes with it. Breathe through the nose 2 times in and exhale through the mouth. And again, 2 times in through the nose and through the mouth. Exhale. One more time. Breathe in and out. And let your body rest. Relaxed, completely surrendered into the earth, into trust that you're carried and held and supported. Begin to slowly move fingers, toes, hands and feet to deepen the breath, to come back, extend the arms overhead. Bend your knees and roll onto your right side. And find your way up to sit. Bring your hands back to your heart with your intention in your heart. Breathe in. Chanting, 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 Hare. Bow your head down to your hands and to your heart. In gratitude, if there's a place that you want to give thanks to today, give thanks there. Om Bolo Shri Satguru Bhagavan Ki Jai. Thank you so much for practicing with us. Have a beautiful rest of your day and see you soon.